Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today we are discussing a lovely mid-1990s dress complication from Audemars Piguet. This is the Audemars Piguet Millenary triple calendar, 38 millimeters from side to side, not inclusive of the crown, 9.7 millimeters thick, and from lug tip to lug tip, 40.9 millimeters. So this watch, in the original 1995 Millenary case size, is wearable on any wrist. Very comfortable. It's long down the wrist, short across the wrist. It's a unisex option, and this is a D66000 series, so right around 1995, 96, 97, and it has post-1995 hallmarks on it. So from the late summer of 1995 later, you can tell just by the hallmarking of the case back when this watch would have been made. So it's an easy watch to wear in yellow gold with a solid case back. There's a satisfying weight to it, but the timepiece is so short across the wrist that literally anyone can wear it, even a child. That said, you probably want to hang on to this one yourself and give Junior a flick-flack to get started. As you can see, the watch fits easily under a dress cuff, and we adults have those. So taking a quick look at the watch on the wrist, short across the wrist, fits well on a small wrist, long down the wrist, and then able to fit underneath any kind of a dress cuff. Here we have an Audemars Piguet factory strap in brand new condition, calfskin on the bottom, blue, large rectangular scale alligator leather, in gloss finish on the top with a monotone stitch and a sheer cut edge. You can see the spring bar that's used is curved, so the lugs can be drilled close to the case, and there's no impediment to the motion of the strap against the flank of the case. Here we have an Audemars Piguet yellow gold pin buckle to match the yellow gold case. As you can see, the case is nuanced and handsomely made. The lugs are welded on, and you can see that the lugs were inserted into slots in the case band, welded on, and then the welded joint was smoothed down to create a sharp break. This is a very labor-intensive and traditional way to make a fine case, and I'm happy to say that if you buy this Holy Trinity dress complication, you get a case that is up to the reputation of Audemars Piguet. This really is the AP I love. I'm not so taken by the Royal Oaks, but this kind of watch I adore. It has a lovely sapphire cabochon on the crown, pusher adjusters for the calendar system, and then a polished bezel to contrast with the circumferentially satinated brushed case. The dial has a lovely rayon that emanates out from the center. This is a lovely guilloche that is deeper and more severely grooved than, for example, a brushed sunburst. This is actually guilloche here rather than a brushed pattern. You can see how it undulates slightly as it beams out from underneath the cannon pinion, and it also expands and becomes coarser as it moves towards the edge of the dial. Now everything here is oval in profile. The date track outboard, we have a yellow gold triangular index that indicates the date. We have stepped apertures for the day and the month, and then gorgeous fired blue steel hands for the hours and the minutes. And then we have a oval small second sub-register, which is sunken into the dial to create another focal plane. Absolutely gorgeous, and if you look carefully, you can see that there is a beautifully subtle contrast between the vertically brushed satin metallic finish of the silvered hour and date track, and then the somewhat darker, almost sand-colored off-white of the center dial. It is quite beautiful and subtle with a black polished cannon pinion. The case back with the original Millenary logo, you can see it's held on by screws, D66927, so probably late 95 through 1996 this watch would have been made. And I say late 95 because after about the midpoint of 1995, the hallmark changed to this little diamond that's stamped on the case. That is a little diamond with a dog's head, and it has the stamp of the regional assay office that graded the case. So satin finish gold on the back, and underneath we have a JLC-based Audemars Piguet caliber 2127 with a 2827 triple date calendar module. So the base movement, the 2127, is a JLC 889. At the time this watch was made, Audemars Piguet owned 40% of Jaeger LeCoultre, so it was sort of a corporate collaboration, if you will. The 889, a bidirectional automatic winder with a 38-hour power reserve in this application, pivots on 36 joules. It beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It's adjusted in 6 positions, one more than a standard chronometer, and features a stop seconds function, so you can set this watch against a reference time. And because this is a vintage watch now, truly it is, I would recommend you consider it to have no water resistance, dust and moisture only. Again, you need to baby older pieces, especially older dress watches, and treat them, well, as rare jewels, treasures, uncommon encounters. Because let's face it, for every modern production Royal Oak you encounter, you'll see maybe one of these 1/20th of the time. This represents rarity, exclusivity, good taste, and good value. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.